Hi, I'm David Earl with Pyramind, and I'm going to be talking right now about Pedalboard, which is a guitar amp plugin, or not amp plugin because I went over guitar amp already. It's a pedal plugin, so it's kind of like having, guitarists will have these boards that they set on the ground that have these effects pedals on them, and the combination of those effects pedals make for some interesting stuff. So Logic decided to create something like that in this plugin called Pedalboard. So I have here this Apple loop of guitar, and I'm going to choose from amps and pedals, Pedalboard. So Pedalboard's pretty cool. Basically on the left-hand side, you have the area where you're going to place your pedals, and then on the right-hand side are the types of pedals you can have. So if I grab a pedal and drag it in, to get rid of a pedal, you can either click on it and hit delete, or you can just drag it off screen. Oh, I guess I got rid of that function. Yeah, just hit delete. It's easier anyway. All right, so then we have Fuzz, we have Distortion, we have some really specialty items like grinder and high drive. So if I want to add just like distortion, but only on the top end. Treble boost is pretty cool. We've got a bunch of fuzz pedals that are pretty neat. If you drag one pedal over another pedal, it actually gets rid of it. So that's pretty cool. One of my favorites is the tube burner. I suggest going through all these different plugins, just play with their parameters and figure out what their sound does. This particular one though, tube burner, I really like because it's useful in other ways as well. What it is it's sort of a tube emulation. And if I go in here, it has a really nice crunchy tubey vibe to it that's pretty nuts. So let's listen to it with and without. So there's a lot of flexibility in these pedals, and you should definitely check them out, and especially when you start adding them together. So right now I have this distortion type plugin. If I come down a little further in our list of plugins, there's, we get down to grit, and then we start getting into things like octave pedals and whammy pedals. If you take something like a whammy pedal, you're changing the tuning. And if you use something like a smart control, you can assign, a regular expression pedal to this and use that expression pedal. So we have octave pedals. Here's some chorusing. Now anything that has like an LFO in it, you can hit sync and it'll sync to your song. Yeah, phase. Yeah, so this stuff's really fun. Flanger. And then we also have, some other cool effects. This revives like a tremolo. So they're all really fun, and basically just stacking these together and getting a cool sound is definitely neat. We have ring modulation, we have SpinBox, so we have tremolo, which is just a standard amplitude modulation between the channels, but we also have things like SpinBox, which is a Leslie cabinet. So if I want to, I can turn any of these effects off just by clicking on their little stomp area. And now if we listen to SpinBox, so SpinBox is basically a Leslie cabinet. So you have this horn that's spinning around and you can speed it up and slow it down, which is very, very cool. So these all work together, or what you can do, like right now, I'm stacking all these delays and then I have a reverb. But right now they're in series. So one goes to the next, goes to the next, goes to the next. Well, one thing a lot of people don't know about in Pedalboard is that you can change how that works. If we come up to the top here, there's this whole area that allows you to select a different path for certain plugins. So right now I have distortion on the right channel. I have the rotary cabinet on the left, the compressor on the right channel, the delay on the left, the reverb on the right, and then I have a mixer. And the mixer allows me to choose between the different paths, and then I can mix them, and then I can also pan those paths. So here's just the B path. Now let's listen to just the A channel. Then what I can do is I can mix between both of them and pan one to the left and pan one to the right. Now again, this is being used with guitar right now, but you can use it with anything. Put a drum kit through it, put a vocal through it, put a bass through it, put keyboards through it. It sounds amazing. And the combination of all these pedals together, when you sort of work with them, it can be really neat. Now down below, we have this disclosure triangle, and this gives you these different macros, and the macros, you can give them different targets. So like if I go to macro A target, I can choose any one of the slots that we're using right now. So let's say tube burner output. And then you have a macro value that you can turn up and down. And that macro value can also be controlled by your smart controls. So that's how you can assign your smart controls to control specific areas of Pedalboard pretty easily, and also give each one of these targets their own offset. So it's pretty cool stuff. All right, so I hope you enjoy Pedalboard. Definitely play around with it on all kinds of different content. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's very unique, and it's a lot of fun to play with too. Like a lot of the models of these pedals are they're powerful in their limitations, and the way that they can stack together these parts make a whole that's really, really interesting and cool, and you can get great effects out of. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to Pyramind, and I'll see you next time when we go over our next fun Logic thing. Ciao.